you ever been to a place like this? This is a chain called the Melting Pot. I know they're all over the country. If you're familiar with them, then you've probably been to one. But if you're not familiar with them, it's a very unique dining experience. It's fondue time. Fondue pot. Pretty soon we will have our oils and our cheeses and our chocolates. Did the food in there. This is not hot yet. This is my first time at one of these. I have never fondue before.
Just Sam Adams rice, chopped garlic, some mustard powder. Some Worcestershire sauce. And then
now it's Wisconsin. Mixing a special concoction here, huh?
And then as it's melting, I'm going to blend in some black pepper.
Do I have permission to put your hands on YouTube?
That's okay.
Okay. It's like a cheesy oatmeal. Okay, so they give you different colored, like, spheres, utensils, and you just kind of grab your food and poke away here. So I know which one's mine, and then if you're here with the whole group, you just could go by the handle so you're not sharing different kinds of, or the same utensil with everyone else. Especially with COVID out there, it would be a good idea. So we've got this Wisconsin cheese thing going. I'm gonna start very simple with the bread. It's all mixed in. You saw what she mixed in. Just kind of let that drip there. Let's see what this tastes like. And that's what this is. It's just basically dipping different foods in if you've never done fondue before. It's good. To me, it has kind of like an oily taste to it, believe it or not. And this is more of a mild version, but there's Samla Adams in there, I believe she said. And then there's pepper, there's of course the cheese, and you've probably heard some of the things she said. And you just start, poke, dip. This sounds naughty. And eat. I suppose you could just leave it in here too and let it just soak it up. Broccoli and cheese. I know you're not supposed to play with the food, but I can make a tornado. Oh, now I've done it. Time to go fishing. It's hiding. It's gone for good. In this tray here, we've got apple, we've got broccoli, carrots, bread. Now this is going to be interesting because you can't do this with the poker. They're like tortilla shells here. Wait, am I able to do it? Nope. That is going to have to be hand dipped. I'll give a full review on my opinion of this after I'm done doing everything. But I will say, as far as the cheese goes, it tastes a bit oily to me. At first, when I dipped in, I was like, oh, okay, this is good. Different, very unique. As I continued to dip in different things, whether it was the bread, celery, carrots, the apple, it just started tasting very oily. The cheese is gone. We've got a brand new fondue pot, and the choice for us in this one is more of a chicken broth. This is what they call the protein pot. My favorite will be the chocolate pot. 4 minutes, depending on. So I'm going to start with some of the filet on here. Oh, look at that. Put that in there. And then I will do a shrimp. You want to really get them good on these things because they're going to be, actually I'm going to cheat a little bit and use my hand. They're going to be soaking a little bit. And you know what? I got to try this ravioli as well. And as you can see, once again, we've got the different colored utensils. So mine's the brown. That shriveled up pasta noodle is actually floating around in there. Shrimp is ready. I guess I'll just start with the shrimp here. I don't think I need the poker at the moment. Well, that's good. And it's cooking in a chicken broth. And it's good. It's got a little kick to it, the chicken broth. Not sure how to explain that. Let me try the meat here. And you saw on my plate when I was showing you the food here, you can line up on the dish the different things that you're going to dip in there. There's a teriyaki sauce that I'll use in a minute. This is kind of like a medium, basically, on the filet here. Just kind of dip this here. Not sure if the camera's picking that up, but get some of the teriyaki on there. I'm a good cook. So I've got my food here, and I just dropped more into the fondue pot. This time around, I'm going to do chicken, which is right here, and I've got some more filet mignon in there that I'm going to do. And what else did I did another shrimp. And then after I do this round, I'm going to give the potato a try. So one thing that I've noticed is when you put a lot of these stirs, or the pickers, or whatever you want to call them, in here, and at different times you start to forget which goes in at what time and what's on each poker. One thing that we're also noticing is it's really seasoned, heavily seasoned. I'm tasting a lot of pepper in the chicken broth, and it's good, but for my personal palate, maybe just a little too much seasoning. Chicken time. It almost looks like a miniature chicken instead of like being cut up. It's a miniature chicken that's already been plucked. I'm not married to the chicken. It's okay. Not my favorite. Kind of lost something here in the pot. Let me show you what happens when you start losing food. You have to go fishing for it, and if your hand's over this in the steam too long. Alright, we're gonna have to get the emergency net. See, the thing is with the camera, you can see it, but from my angle, I'm sitting at, I can't see it. There we go. You can see I've got all the pokers over here. The shrimp is really good. I do like the shrimp. The filet is pretty good. Warning, if you cook it a little too long there, it definitely loses some of its taste. I think it's a little soggy too, so you got to be careful. One thing that they have here is their own garlic and wine seasoning, but believe me, you do not need any more seasoning. And we did not add any. And when you're waiting in between meals, like the next coming out is chocolate, you can experiment a little bit. Can't quite get that yet. Start putting all that.
Make an magic kitchen.
This is my own recipe. Now, you have to make shapes. Like, we can make this as an eye. A couple of eyes. There's the nose. Fondue is fun. My favorite part is here. We've got chocolate. Look at that. It's hard to show like in a game show. There we go. Chocolate. We got the waffle. We got Rice Krispies. I'll do the stuff I know. We got bananas. We got strawberries. They give you a nice cute plate And the voice you hear in the background would be my girlfriend. We are celebrating 5 years today. She's camera shy. She will not go on camera. I'm going to start with what I think is going to be my favorite. Do the best first. Looks like a chocolate chip cookie cake. This is the Rice Krispie. One thing I've just noticed, this is much smaller, the chocolate.
Not a lot in there, huh?
No, the chicken broth and the cheese, it was a deeper bowl. And ripped off on chocolate here. Okay, wrapping it up, that chocolate was good. That was really good. Just showing you the bill here, and the total after tax is what it was. And you know what? It was a fun experience. That was definitely a very unique experience. I had a good time. So here's my personal thoughts on the melting pot. Like I mentioned earlier, I thought the seasonings that were used, especially in that chicken broth for the protein foods, was a little too strong, at least for my taste. And they did have the extra seasoning you can add, so if you find that there's not enough seasoning, well, there you go. But for my taste and my girlfriend, we thought it was definitely enough what they had in there, probably a little too much for our palates. The cheese was good. At the very beginning, I really liked the cheese, but once I continued to dip some of the food in the cheese, I just felt it had more of an oily taste to it. And that chocolate, yeah, that was my favorite. That's probably everybody's favorite here at the melting pot. The chocolate was really good, and they allow you to take some of the chocolate home. They got a little container that they gave us for the remaining amount of chocolate, and then a little to-go carton for any of the food that you would dip in the chocolate and that you could bring home with you, because I think they pretty much know that you're not going to finish it up. You pay for the experience. So I showed you the bill in there, and it was a good time. I've never done fondue before. This was my first time doing a fondue type restaurant, and it was really enjoyable. Would I come back here for just the food? Probably not for a year or so. This is one of those places where I would say you go for the experience. It's a good time. Let me put it this way. Scale 1 to 10, 10 being the best, I would give it a high 6 to a low 7. So right in that range there, depending on what you had, because you're dipping so many different types of foods into the fondue there. So it was a good time. And again, like I said, my very first time here at the Melting Pot. If you've got one near you, comment below. Have you ever been to one? And let me know your thoughts. Would you agree with me on the overall experience just being more of an entertainment sort of thing? Or do you think the food is awesome? Let me know. This was just a quick little fun entertainment night out video. On the next video, we'll get back into the Christmas stuff, and you'll want to check out where I'm taking you next. You'll see me on the next one.
Subscribe now.